Hey guys, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Online deck profile. Today we are going to be focusing on Trevenant from the XY set. This guy is a very pesky, annoying Pokemon to deal with, and typically we see him used in tandem with Gengar EX, with kind of like that hit and run thing, and then you put the Trevenant up. But today we're going to be using him as just the main attacker. Now he has the very annoying ability for as long as his opponent is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand. So it's kind of like a makeshift Seismitoad, except for he just has to be in the active spot for this to happen. It's not part of an attack. So we're going to use him up there, and he has Tree Slam for a Psychic and a double colorless. This attack does 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and 60 to the active. So not really a huge hitter, but it's kind of cool that he does splash damage, because you gotta realize that's 100 total damage per attack. And if your opponent is locked out of using item cards, then it's going to be really hard for them to do much else. Now, what really helps us out, of course, is going to be the Eeveelutions that we are seeing so much since the Ancient Origins set. I'm sure you guys have seen it already, but how this works is for all the stage 1s, you're basically going to be adding the elements of these other types. So with the Jolteon is going to make our Trevenant electric type, so we're hitting for the electric weakness. We have the Vaporeon, who does the same effect. All of your stage 1 Pokemon in play are now waters, and then we have the Flareon. Now, typically, the Flareon and Jolteon are going to be the two that you utilize the most. Jolteon's really good because he has a free retreat. So, it's always nice if something gets killed, you can promote the Jolteon and then choose what you want to do and then retreat him. So that's very flexible. Not to mention he hits things like Rayquaza for weakness, he hits Lugia for weakness, Eeveelutions, so those are all really big Pokemon in the meta, and we can start hitting them for weakness as well as having a lock with this Forest Curse. Then the other type that we see a lot is Vespiquen with the grass, so Flareon is going to see a lot of play. You also see some Sceptiles and stuff like that, but really this is using to kind of make sure we get one-hit kills on those pesky Vespiquens. And then just one Vaporeon, because why not? You never know if you come across a fire deck or something that's weak to water. I think what Landorus, the basic Landorus, is too. So there's a few things, but that's why we only have one. We're going to be running 2 Shaman EX for setup ability. This really helps with consistent draw. I'm sure you guys all know about that. And I think that does it for our Pokemon. Yeah, I guess for the lineup of our main guy, it is a 4-4 line. He's our main guy attacking, actually our only guy attacking, so besides Shaman EX. So yeah, no reason not to run a 4-4 line. For item cards, we're running 2 Level Ball. Level Ball is going to grab all of our Eeveelutions and also the Phantops, so running 2 of him. 4 Ultra Ball. I just really want to make sure that we can get the certain guys that we need at the right time, grab Shamans and stuff. Running 2 Trainer's Mail just to kind of help get through our deck. 2 Switch. And just in case something gets stuck up there, we start the game out with the Eevee. Help us get out of that situation, because the strategy is you want to get the Trevenant out turn 1 if at all possible. If you can lock your opponent from using item cards before he can even play, then you're really looking good. And so what we're going to do that is we're going to run 4 Wally. Now, what Wally does is you can search your deck for a card that evolves from one Pokemon, excluding EXs, so you can't go from EX to a Mega, and you can kind of basically evolve into that Pokemon. Which is cool about Wally is you can use this card on the same turn that you played a Pokemon. So what you do is you first turn you play Phantom. If you have a Wally in hand, then you can use Wally, evolve into the Trevenant, and then you already have a Trevenant stage 1 in your active position, and your opponent is locked out of using item cards. Very annoying, very tough. They can only, just use probably like Sycamores and stuff to draw, and possibly Lysander out your Phantom. to put him onto the bench, so they can't do much. But it's a very strong strategy. And since we oftentimes will be using the Wally first, you're going to want to use Ultra Balls to make sure to get out Shamans to draw. So that's basically why we have, the 4 Ultra Balls, the Trainer's Mails to get those Ultra Balls, so forth. We have 1 Lysander, just 1 Birch, because most of the time we're going to be using Wally. If not Wally, then we're going to be running 1 of 4 Sycamores. 4 of the Dimension Valley just to give us easier attack situation with 2 Psychics with the Stadium in play. 3 Muscle Band because we don't hit all that hard. And then for the energies we have 8 Psychic and 4 double colorless. The really cool thing about double colorless in this deck is since our opponent's going to be item locked, they won't be able to hammer the energies off. Yes, they can Team Flare Grunt or they can Zero Sick, but they'll be using their supporter for the turn. Then they don't have items because they're locked, so they won't really be doing that much. So you can feel pretty safe slapping this on your Trevenant, and you'll have no worries. So that does it for the deck. Saying he's really annoying, and then combining him with these Eeveelutions to give him other hits for weakness, you can see how this deck can be very, very, very tough. Let's go ahead and check him out on Pokemon TCG Online. And here we go. Looks like we're going to be playing against Fatty Bats. And we flip heads. Good for us. Let's see if we can start off with that Trevenant turn 1. And we have the Fantip, but we do not have a Wally just yet, which is unfortunate. But we have the Ultra Ball, so let's see if we can get into that. Go ahead and play the energy down. Because we can get rid of 1 Trevenant and Jolteon, because we want to save that Stadium. And it'll help us draw more by playing it. And Shaman, let's get that Wally. Beautiful. Play down to Eevee. We'll go ahead and Wally into the Trevenant. And I think we're going to save this Shaman for next turn. That way, next turn I can play the Trevenant down on our bench, play the double colorless, and then Shaman, hopefully kind of maximizing our draw. We see our opponent play a water energy on this Kyurem EX. He's going to have a slow build up to that, luckily. So that's typically the strategy is they have to Lysander the guy out to then start using their item cards. So we got them to use a Lysander early. Let's see here, and we'll see if we can draw a switch, or I guess we'll go ahead and get the Sycamore. A switch, or we can also go for Jolteon. Unfortunately, we have 1 in the discard power right now, but we'll see what we can get here. And lovely, we drew the other one. We can retreat here. Now, I kind of want to save this double colorless, so what we can do is go ahead and I think we'll just stick with this right now. There's no need to over pursue. Fortunately, our opponent was able to use that turn to get that hard charm on. So that's unfortunate because we're not going to be doing much damage. And if they have the healing, then that's also going to be problematic. But we'll see what we can do. We have the Regice, but we don't have anything that's steel related. So drop that energy down. We can go ahead and use an Ultra Ball. We aren't going to need this Flareon, so we'll get out another Fantip. And we'll Sycamore. It's nice. So we have the Stadium for backup. We have a Lysander if need be. In which we have all the items we need except for a Muscle Band, which we'll be looking for next. We'll hit for 40 on the main. So he's going to be doing 30 to everybody next turn, which will actually add up a lot, unfortunately. But we'll see. I mean, if our opponent decides to keep... Oh, okay, and we see another Lysander. So he was able to draw into 2 Lysanders without any VS Seekering or anything like that, which is pretty amazing. So I think we're going to. I think the switch is probably more important than the energy right now. So we'll go ahead and play this on the shaman. Do a hard retreat. And we don't really need anything right now, so let's go ahead and use this Wally. And we're still in control. Our opponent wasn't able to get an energy drop. Fortunately, wasn't able to play a stadium either, so he hasn't done too much healing. And he has 60 damage left. And we saw a Mega Evolution, yet he has no energies on there. So that is good for us. That is all to the good. All to the G-O-O-G good. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Lysander out this big bag Mega Blastoise. Opponent flips tails. Oh, and there's a Rough Seas, unfortunately. But we do have the stadium to counter that. And go ahead. I guess we can Sycamore again. Start playing energies. We see a double colorless drop by our opponent. Another stadium. Unfortunately, we're not hitting anything for weakness, and we can't. There is a muscle band. Actually, I don't want him to heal anymore. So we'll break the stadium. Attack for 60. And drop the damage there. And this Mega Blastoise is tanking for him for a while, so that is unfortunate. And he attaches the energy to the Regice. And lovely, there is our... We're looking for that for a long time, that pesky little muscle band. Go ahead and do more damage and splash to the one without the hard charm. There you go, we get to draw 2. Opponent's going to be able to do this 130 hit. But he will be discarding an energy if he does so. So he decides to just splash everybody. Which is all to the good for us. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. He could decide just to get the kill right away, or keep just spreading damage all the way around. I think we're going to get this Shaman off the field at some point, so we'll go ahead and put another energy on that Shaman. And we're just going to be putting splash damage on the guys that don't have the hard charms. So one more hit if our opponent doesn't get the stadium, and we will be looking good to kill this Kyurem. So you should be able to expect to see him just go ahead and get that kill on the Trevenant. Luckily we have all 3 of our guys set up, so even if he gets the Regice to do any damage to us, we should be okay. And to do the Glacier, we'll need 2 waters on him, so we're not too worried about that. We'll go ahead and start getting these guys off so we can get them off the field if need be. And we're going to kill these guys, hopefully, for the win. Opponent brings out the Regice to get the kill on the Trevenant. We see a Hex Maniac go out and a hard charm. Man, 4 hard charms? Is that how many he's played? Absolutely insane. And let's go ahead and Lysander out this Regice. Put another energy on him. Sky Return. The question is, does he have the water energy? And he did not. It would appear. And it comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, but can he retreat? If not, then, oh, it might have been a mistake for him to play that guy. But we'll go ahead and switch into this Trevenant, attach the muscle band, and I think that should be game. And we snuck out with the victory. And here we go with Flake out. He's got the full suit on and everything. Let's see if he dares venture into this haunted forest. Alright. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to start up with the Phantip. And nice, we have a Wally in hand as well. I think our opponent's going first. Unfortunately, we won't be able to lock him out right away. And we can expect to see Flake out to play as many trainer cards as possible. Oh, or not. Or just play those. Awesome. And yep, we're going to go ahead and Wally with the Trevenant to lock him out. And then Shaman for 3. And now we're looking very good. So, next turn, all we need is an energy and a stadium or a double colorless. And we should be able to start putting the beat down. Our opponent's not going to be able to use trainer cards now. So he'll be slowed up a little bit. Or he can Lysander and then use trainer cards. So that's one of his outs, which is a nice play by him. But at least we got them to use their Lysander earlier than they might have wanted to. But unfortunately, he can attack our Shaman for weakness. But that's fine. Shaman did what he had to do. If he takes him out, I'd rather him take out the Shaman earlier in the game when it's not going to be for like a game-deciding win of 2 prizes. Take it out now so we can still recover. And surprising, our opponent really didn't play that many cards considering he had all that opportunity to play things. So we're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball away that. I guess get the Shaman because we want to draw like our 2 outs. We need a stadium and an energy or a double colorless and a muscle band. Let's see what we can get here. We have a trainer's mail. I don't know if we really want to draw any of those right now because we're going to be Lysandering. So, no, we're not going to do that. We'll go ahead and play the energy. Let's level ball. Let's see our opponent. And we can hit these guys for weakness now with the Jolteon, so that's looking good. We have 1 Trevenant. I guess we can go ahead and start setting up another Trevenants. Let's see if we have one more big tree available to us should we evolve. Brilliant. Cool. So get that going. Besides Jolteon, the rest of the Eeveelutions aren't going to help us out for this game, I fear. And we got our stadium. Lovely. And we can hold off on playing him. We don't want to fill our bench up too much. Let's go ahead and start hitting. And splash the energy or the damage onto the Shamans because our opponent can just discard the unknown with his ability. So we see a Skyfield, and he might be able to go in for a kill over the 100. We'll see. But he can't play any things like, okay, and he's going to lose 1 because of the unknown. So that was very fortunate for us. All right, and we have the energy for that. Play the Dimension Valley. And I guess we'll go ahead and attack. We'll hit this Pikachu and one of the Shamans. And collect a prize. We're looking pretty good. He can kill us this turn, but we have the double colorless, so we won't even need the stadium. And with the muscle band, we should be in the damage killing range for this Raichu, should he be able to bring him up. Teammates is actually a really good card for him. because you can choose 2 non-item cards to help him out, which I would assume will likely be the Stadium and the Raichu, if he doesn't already have a Raichu. Stadium, that way he may assume that we don't have an answer to follow up after he kills this one Trevenant. But we'll see what he gets. Luckily, the little thing that hurt him with getting this teammates is he didn't get like a full hand reshuffle. But yeah, so there's the Raichu, which we were expecting, and the Skyfield, which I predicted as well. So he's doing it just like clockwork, which is very, very fine for us indeed. And let's check what we have in our grade. We don't have a Lysander in there. I think we'll go ahead and start drawing though. Say we have 25 cards in hand. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get a Sycamore. Play the Phantom. And I'll save the Sycamore for next turn so we can at least evolve and not maybe save one of our energies. And we're going to Tree Slam with a big whammy. Splash some of the damage onto the Shaman with more HP since we can hit them for weakness. And we're seeing the benefit of having a Trevenant that locks our opponents, and then also the stage 1 aspect and having the Jolteons and other Eeveelutions help us. Now he could Blacksmith. Oh no, he actually played Tierno, so we should be fine. And there, we get the win. Look at that. Nice, easy, quick victory for that. So yeah, like I said, Trevenant is very hard to deal with, especially if you're just going to leave them up to attack. We don't have Floatstone yet, which helps him retreating with Gengar, but that will come back. So most likely we're probably going to be seeing the Trevenant, duoed and tandemed with the Gengar. I personally kind of like this Eeveelution build. You can see they can't really do much when you lock them down. So yeah, kind of give you a quick glimpse of that. Stage 1s have gotten a huge boost, and I'm sure we're just going to see more and more versatility with these Eeveelutions. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Please feel free to leave any comments down below, like and subscribe, and we'll be back to you soon with another deck prowl. Alright, peace.